Most people talk too much. The solution to this problem is incredibly simple. Shut up. What prompts us to talk a lot? It mainly stems from a place of insecurity. In my experience, people who talk a lot are often trying to impress someone. They feel as though saying more things is the key to winning the other person over. The truth is, the opposite happens. When someone can't stop talking, it's clear that they're uncomfortable in the current situation. Someone who was secure in their skin wouldn't feel the need to talk about how amazing they are. Their achievements would speak for themselves. They don't have to voice what they've done, as they're not seeking anyone else's approval. Instead of stating how excellent you are, wait for people to ask. I never tell people what I do for a living. Why should I? If they don't ask, I don't tell. This is what I mean by saying less than necessary. Furthermore, words aren't always helpful. Think of someone who can't stop complaining. These people are giving their inner feelings of discontent a voice. How does complaining help ease your negative situation? It doesn't. It just makes things worse. You know what would have fixed your situation? Shutting up and doing something about it. Complaining and wasting your voice on something so trivial is a complete waste of time. From this day forward, promise to never complain about anything. I don't care what it is. If you don't open your mouth, it's impossible to complain. Try it and see how your life changes. Another interesting quality about saying less than necessary is the impact that your words have when spoken. When you don't say much, the words you do utter contain gravitas, even if what you say is complete and utter nonsense. Let me give you an example. In 1995, Manchester United were the kings of English football. They were experiencing a surge of domestic dominance that hadn't existed for decades and were loving every second of it. Their talisman and star player at the time was a man named Eric Cantona. The fans loved him so much, they called him King Eric. On the 25th of January 1995, Manchester United headed down to South London to play Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. The game was tight, and nothing was going Cantona's way. After a hard tackle from a Palace defender, Cantona lashed out. The referee spotted the offense and showed King Eric a red card, dismissing him from the field. While Cantona was walking down the touchline, heading to the dressing room, a fan in the crowd caught his attention. The fan said something provocative, and within a flash, Eric was kicking him like Jackie Chan in Rush Hour 2. At the time, this was big news. Every single newspaper in the country was talking about Cantona's kung fu kick. Shortly after the event, a press conference was arranged to question the Manchester United player. In it, Cantona only said this: "When the seagulls follow the trawler, it's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much." Despite causing a media firestorm, Cantona's statement was short and ambiguous. The media was left with more questions than they had before, and nobody knew what he was talking about. People still talk about it to this day whenever the man is brought up in conversations. This is significant, and it's only because he said less than necessary. The situation Cantona in was grave. It was the first time in history that a professional athlete had assaulted a supporter in such a public way, and the consequences for him were dire. Not only did he get banned for the entire season, he was also being investigated by the Metropolitan Police. To utter the statement he made shows great power and confidence. It would have been easy for him to grovel and apologize. Instead, he gave an ambiguous statement that raised more questions than conclusions. He knew the power in saying less than necessary. Now, why is silence so important? In a nutshell, it creates mystery, and people love mysteries. Why do you think Agatha Christie books are so popular? It's because people love being surprised. Silence provides you with the same gift. If you're in someone's company and are engaging in a conversation, don't be a chatterbox. Sit back, relax, and listen. When you choose your words wisely and ask meaningful questions, the other person will cherish you. Why? Because most people today are unable to listen. Sure, they have ears, but they don't use them for anything meaningful. Listening to Taylor Swift and Katy Perry isn't a valuable use of your sense of hearing, whereas being able to listen to someone close to you and internalize the information they give you, that is an invaluable skill. Not just because you're learning about the other person, but because you're making them feel heard. This can only be done when you control your tongue. Don't let it loose in a conversation. Hold it and use it when the moments are right. Use it to ask clever questions. Use it to add some wit to your conversation. Use it as a supplement to your charisma, not as an inhibitor. Equally, silence is uncomfortable. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but I have. There have been times in my life where I would try to fill any awkward silence with meaningless words. There have also been times where people in my presence got nervous and couldn't stop talking. This can be a useful tool for you in the art of conversation. When you realize that the other person doesn't enjoy silence just as much as you do, you gain the upper hand. You can rest assured knowing that while you stay silent, the other person will be quick to fill that void with noise. And during these moments, they will often reveal information about themselves that can be useful to you, not in a malicious way, but more so in a practical way. These things the other person brings up can be brought up again later in the conversation. When you do this, you further show them how much of a wonderful listener you are. I'm about to end this video here. I've shared a number of examples where saying less than necessary can help you. I think it's smart to choose your words wisely and never speak more than necessary. The points in this video may seem scrambled, but I believe the points remain relevant. Thanks for watching.